Hi, welcome back to another episode of Positive Talks with Mary. I'm Mary McKay. Let me ask, have you ever woken up in the morning and you have like really good intentions to have a pretty decent, nice day, but then something happens and then that one circumstance completely changes your attitude for the day. And maybe you say, "Ugh, it's just not my day." Look, I know that feeling. And that happens to me more often than not. And that's what we're going to be talking about today when it's just not your day. And I really got to thinking about this topic and what I was going to talk about because at work, we have like a topic or a question of the day that our listeners can chime in on and put their input on. And the other day, our morning show topic was what's one thing that can happen in the morning to guarantee that you'll have a bad day? And we had all of these people chiming in, saying things like having a flat tire, waking up late, you don't have any coffee, or your car doesn't start. All things that'll lead up to you not having a good day, having a bad day. And it really made me think, why does one bad thing happen? And it automatically leads to us thinking our whole entire day is going to be bad. Because I know so many times in the morning or something, I am like running a little bit late. I have already getting flustered and I'm frustrated because I'm late. And then if the next teeny or tiniest thing happens, like it just sets me over the top. Like I've just had it and I'm like, I can't do it anymore. I'm going to lose it. I mean, comment below if you've ever felt like that. If you can sort of relate to those type of emotions, just like, why is all of this happening? So in a moment of frustration, where does "it's just not my day" come from? Because a moment before you muttered those words, you had set out to have a really good, nice day, but things changed in an instant. Things switched and you went from good to bad. But in reality, in the grand scheme of things, that tiny little situation or the frustration that you were feeling, it's nothing. It's meaningless. It's a tiny blip on life's radar. It's always so important to remember that no matter what the day holds or the situation that arises throughout the day, you do not have to automatically default to have that bad day mentality. Because listen, God is still on the throne. God is still in control. He still lives. He is still good. He loves you, and his blessings are all around you, no matter the situation or the circumstance that you're in right now. No matter the moment of frustration or anger, God is still in control. But somehow I still catch myself saying those things, saying those mean, negative self talk phrases, sort of like, I can never do anything right. What's wrong with me? I'm not good enough for that. Comment below, if you've ever caught yourself saying some of those just mean, negative self talk phrases, just sort of like I mentioned. Because, see, the thing is, I know all of those phrases are not true. And yeah, you could probably just wave them off as like heated emotions in the moment. But if you continuously talk down to yourself and you say things like that to yourself, those simple little phrases no longer become meaningless. If you say it or you think it enough, it gets rooted in your brain and it basically just like starts taking over and it makes it almost become like a reality to you. It's not just a phrase anymore. You're believing that you're really not good enough. You're believing that you're not worthy enough. And that's not true, no matter how many times you say it in a moment of frustration or whatever else is going on. Because our greatest enemy, he wants you to believe that lie. Satan wants those phrases to take over you. Satan wants that to control you because that is completely against what God says and what God wants. And this reminds me of the verse from 2 Corinthians 10:5. And it says, we demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God. And we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. And we should always demolish, we should always destroy anything that goes against God, because if we don't, they're going to take up space in our brain and eventually leading us to saying those thoughts and potentially affecting and harming somebody else from hearing those negative self-talk things. Like if you think it long enough, it's eventually going to come out of your mouth. And we can't always stop the thoughts that randomly pop up in our head, but we sort of can control what we do with them. We can refuse to dwell on them, and we can refuse to let them take over us. We can focus on, and we can keep our minds turned to God, and we can focus on what is true from His Word. He loves us. He made us in His image. The imperfections we think we have are considered a masterpiece to our Creator. Remember that when your mind is flooded with it's just not my day talk or negative talk. You have to replace those thoughts with God and completely walk away from the influence that those words just had on you. You are more than what you think. You are more than what you say to yourself. In a moment of frustration, just in a moment of anger, or even if you're feeling down and anxious, you are more than what you say about yourself and what you think. So don't let it get the best of you. God is still in control. And I think that's it for today's video. But on my last video, I talked about biblical healing when you're dealing with a broken heart. And I hope you have never experienced a broken heart, and I hope that day doesn't come. But if you have, you know what it's like to have a broken heart, and it hurts and it's painful. And for me, I just felt like I cried all the time, and I was just so sad all the time having a broken heart. But God can work a mighty way in your life and in your heart, especially when you're dealing with a broken heart, because He cares for people who are dealing with sorrow and sadness and hurt in their life. So if you're dealing with that, there's some biblical wisdom and some advice, and maybe just to give you a little bit of hope that you can heal your broken heart. I know it seems hard, but you really can. So anywho, I'm going to link that video down in the description below, so make sure to check it out. And if you're new to this channel, thanks so much for stopping by. I'm so glad to have you here. Make sure to comment below if you're new to this channel. I would love to connect with you. You can even press the subscribe button and like this video. You can press the bell button as well, so you will be notified on all the videos coming out and everything that we're doing on this channel. So a lot of good things are happening. I'm so excited about it, and I'm just already so excited and blessed for what 2023 has already brought this far, and it's only a little bit halfway through March. So thanks again. I'm excited. So make sure to subscribe and like, and I'll be back here next week with another video.